Good evening from Newsroom Southeast. A report tonight claims the government ignored warnings about the danger of fire at Windsor Castle. Berkshire's fire service says the damage should have been minimal.
The fire brigade claims the Property Services Agency, which used to manage the castle, ignored expert advice on fire safety for nearly 13 years. Its report, which has been sent to the Home Office, claims it warned that fire barriers and automatic alarms were necessary in 1980, but no action was taken. Advice on smoke alarms was also ignored.
The consequence was a disastrous fire. More than 200 firefighters had to risk their lives to put it out, and the nation faces a huge bill to restore Windsor Castle. If basic precautions had been taken, that might all not have happened.
The report says a series of blunders on the night of the fire last November turned it into a £44 million disaster.
Two teenagers who raped and battered to death a 76-year-old woman have been sentenced to be detained indefinitely.
The court heard how 76-year-old Ruth Denyer was subjected to a frenzied attack at her home last September. In a terrifying ordeal, she was repeatedly stabbed and beaten with a chair leg by 17-year-old Philip Barber and 18-year-old Paul Chapman. They demanded she hand over her savings. In fact, they got away with just £26.
There was no pot of gold in that house, but to treat it to the torture, the cruelty, the injuries, and then subject it to a rape, culminating it all with murder, I think was very, very wicked and very, very cold.
Sentencing the teenagers to an indefinite period in a young offenders centre, Judge Neil Dennison QC said what you did to that old lady was evil almost beyond belief.
That's it. Now the weather forecast with Penny Tranter.
Good evening. Well, we saw some dry and settled weather over much of the country, and the sunshine certainly took temperatures up to as high as 17 degrees at Leeds, and even further north where it was cloudy and Stornoway we reached 12. Now the reason for the dry and settled weather has been this area of high pressure over the country, but we have had a warm front over the north during today, shown up by this area of cloud on the satellite picture. Tonight that cloud will still be over much of northern and western Scotland, giving a little bit of rain here and there. Further south, though, it will be dry with the clearest skies over England and Wales. And it's likely we're going to see a touch of ground frost in the Midlands, East Anglia and southern England. But further north, where we've had that cloud, it will be much milder. Tomorrow, that area of high pressure is still very much in evidence. But that warm front struggling down the North Sea is likely to bring us some cloud. But it will start off dry and bright in many areas, particularly in England and Wales, where we will see the best of the sunshine. But as we go through the day, that cloud over Northern Isles tumbling its way down the east coast, but it should be mainly dry. Tomorrow then, the brightest weather in England and Wales, certainly to start off with the odd spot of light rain over the Northern Isles. And as we go through into the afternoon, well, it should be dry everywhere, but still the best of the sunshine over much of central England, Wales, much brighter in Northern Ireland and Western Scotland than it was today, but rather more cloudy down through the eastern side of Scotland and England as far south as the Wash as we go through into the latter part of the afternoon. And here it's going to be quite chilly too, with the wind coming off a relatively cool North Sea. Temperatures at best between 12 and 13. The warmest places where the sunshine shines most through the west, between 14 and 16 degrees. The wind's quite strong in the south there, around 20 miles from the northeast. On Thursday, the area of high pressure still dominating the weather, meaning dry, bright and quite sunny weather for most of us, but still rather cloudy down through the eastern side of the country with temperatures around 11 at best. And that's it from me.